computer. So you'll probably get something on your screen right now that asks you to be okay with me recording you. And what I want you to know is this: you are not in the recording. I'm the only one in the recording. Unless by chance I forget to spotlight myself and then you start talking, you'll pop in here. But usually I'm pretty quick to remember that I need to spotlight myself. If you speak during class, your voice will be in the recording, but your picture won't. And I know some people are like, I don't want to be on recording. I don't want to be on the internet. It never was my dream to be on the internet, but now look at me now. We're years into this, and now I'm on YouTube with my own channel. So, but what I do is record our classes and upload them to my YouTube page. And I'm not going to show you today. I'll probably show you next week or maybe even the next week how to access it. But the purpose is for a couple different reasons. One, it's in case you aren't able to come to class, because things come up, things happen. You may not feel good. You may get sick. You may have to go to the hospital. Those are extreme situations. Other times, you just may be busy living life. And I think that's wonderful. If you have plans and something comes up, I don't want you to miss class, but you have the opportunity to re-watch class on the YouTube page. And that way you never feel like you're behind. Because what's great about this class is that each class builds on the next class. So each class isn't kind of self-standing. What you learn in class 16, well, by class 16, we're practicing what we learn. But we learn a little and build on what we know, and so it's not all thrown at you at once. So in order to not get behind, you might watch the recording. Now, believe me, I leave no one behind. And we review so much that, you're going to get it. If this is your first class, if this is your fifth time in taking class with me, you're going to learn something a little different each time. In the beginning, your very first time you come to class, you're just like, oh, I've never moved like this before. And you're learning how to simply slow down. We live in a society where life is so in a hurry and rushed that we get used to that pace of life. And so it's hard to slow down. That's probably my personal number one reason why I love Tai Chi, is because it's permission to slow down. Everything in my life is in a hurry. So I love getting to come to class and to slow down. There are lots of benefits to Tai Chi. And, we all can come to this class for different reasons. Probably a reduction of stress, anxiety, and possible depression is probably my main motivators, and that goes along with that slowing down. This is a falls prevention program, so you may be here because you don't want to fall. Maybe you have fallen and you don't want to fall again. Maybe you are fearful that you're going to fall. Maybe you're aware of some things going on with your body and you're like, I don't feel as stable as I used to, and I want to do something about it. Now, there's more to falls prevention than just Tai Chi. So I'm not going to come here and be the person who is arrogant enough to think Tai Chi will solve all problems. There's more to falls prevention than that. All right, let me let Miss Iris in and mark her down as here.
Good morning.
Good morning, Miss Iris. Glad you're here, babe. So there's more to falls prevention than just Tai Chi, and more to falls prevention than just exercise. And so I will talk about those things, specifically to neuropathy and being able to feel your feet connect to the ground. And so Tai Chi teaches us a body awareness going back to the benefits of Tai Chi, Tai Chi, that's a gift that Tai Chi gives us. We talk about posture in Tai Chi. We talk about how we place our feet on the grounds, how we move through life, how we hold tension, and tension can cause pain. And so body awareness is a huge part of Tai Chi. Yes, we will improve balance and coordination and strengthen our muscles by the way we move. We move slow, smooth, and continuous. If I were to tell you, hey guys, we're going to come to class today and we're just going to stand on one foot all hour, you would tell me you're not interested in doing that probably. I'm not interested in standing on one foot for an hour. But guess what we're going to do? Stand on one foot for an hour. We're just not going to do it all at once. We do it through our movement. We shift weight to one leg. We do something with that other leg. Then we shift our weight back to the other leg. So essentially, we are standing on one leg. Somebody did a study that said the more able you are to stand on one leg, the less likely you are to fall. Now, if I were a preacher, I would probably say, can I get a big duh out it from you? Because no kidding, if we can stand on one foot, we're less likely to fall, right? But they did a study about that, and it goes to exactly how we move in Tai Chi. Now, because we're strengthening our muscles, we're help relieving some of the pressure that we have on our joints, specifically our weight-bearing joints. We have our hips, our knees, and our ankles. They're the three joints that mainly carry our weight. And so when we strengthen the muscles that surround those joints, we can relieve some of that pressure, hopefully relieving some of that pain. A lot of disease that we have is autoimmune, and autoimmune diseases respond to stress. So the more stress, the more anxiety, the more kind of negative mental health experience that we have with ourselves, the more kind of flare-ups we'll have with our pain and inflammation. And so inflammation is or arthritis is inflammation of our joints. So arthritis is probably no stranger to any of you. One joint or another we're experiencing arthritis in, if not multiple joints. So Tai Chi, that's another benefit, is helping with the pain from arthritis or chronic pain from other autoimmune diseases or other pain that you have. There's no doubt that sometimes I'll be in pain and I'll just be like, I'll catch myself going like this, like, oh gosh, it hurts. Oh, I'm just tensing myself up because I'm in pain, balling up and just tensing up. I just hurt. I'm doing myself worse by clenching and tightening up. I'm causing myself to be in more pain through that tension. If I can learn to breathe and relax with that pain and through that pain, then I may have less pain. So it's just things that we learn in Tai Chi. Another thing that we can benefit, our bodies benefit from by doing Tai Chi, is increasing the flexibility and mobility of our joints. I think a lot about my neck. How often am I driving and I have to look over to make sure that I can safely switch lanes. I can safely back out of a parking spot. How many times I have to move my spine as I turn my body. And so with the movements that we do in Tai Chi, we help that mobility. And what are we without mobility in our health? It hurts to move. It's a struggle to move. So if you can follow the movements and principles of Tai Chi, then you can help reduce the tension and stiffness in your body and increasing and improving your flexibility and mobility. And just the nature of taking time to exercise You're going to improve your stamina. You're going to improve your I feel like it. And so sometimes I feel this way too. I'm sitting there, I'm like, oh, I'm so tired. Oh, I just don't feel good. Oh, I just don't want to. Well, if I sat there and I kept repeating that narrative, guess what? I wouldn't get up and I wouldn't do anything. But I'll say to myself, all right, we don't exactly feel it. We're not feeling it today. Maybe my foot hurts. Maybe my knee hurts. Maybe I'm just tired. But if I tell myself we're going to do something for 5 minutes, and after 5 minutes, if we still feel that lousy, we can rest. Because there's no doubt that resting is important to our health. But usually if you get up and you start moving a little bit, it encourages you to keep moving. So I'll encourage you to continue with your Tai Chi journey, not just on Tai Chi days, but every day do a little bit of something that can help you stay feeling all right. Now, I hope to talk a little bit more about breathing than I ever have before, so that we can be very conscious of the fact that we're holding our breath when we try something new, when we're busy. I want us to be aware that we're continuing to breathe and not just holding our breath. That's very important. So that lays out a good list of benefits that you can get from Tai Chi. You may be here for whatever reason. You may have thought, I keep seeing about Tai Chi and I don't really know what it is, but let me just check it out and see if it's for me. I've had new students come before and they check out Tai Chi and they go, oh yeah, that's not for me. I can't go that slow. I don't enjoy that. And that's okay. When I very first was asked to be trained for Tai Chi, I went to the training in Atlanta and I said, oh, I'm not going to like this. I like doing all that hyper stuff where you jump up and down and kick your legs and sweat and, just act a crazy fool. But what I realized was it's what I needed. So initially, it wasn't what I wanted to do, but it's what I needed. At the time, I had a toddler. The very first time I took training, I had a toddler. So you know what life is exhausting. Life is busy when you have a toddler. And so if y'all want to believe this, that little toddler now will be 22 in a couple weeks. That tells you how long I have been doing Tai Chi. I think it was 2006 when I was originally trained, and but I've been teaching it regularly since 2012. So I teach on the busiest time. I teach 5 classes a week. I teach around 11 classes a year, and I've been doing that since 2021. So five years, almost 6 years, I've been teaching 11 classes a year. So I've learned a lot. Some of y'all have been here through a lot of those, and I love that y'all keep coming back. It makes me feel really good that you want to spend your time with me. It makes me feel good to know that it's helping you in some way, even if it's just my little jolly self entering your living room. And I like that too. Y'all know I like to check on y'all if y'all don't come to class. We miss y'all when you aren't able to come. It's like a special community here. So as we welcome Miss Patty, and Miss Patty, I don't know if Robert's going to join us, your husband, but we welcome y'all to our fold, and we know that y'all are going to enjoy this. At any time, if you have questions, let me know. Don't feel like you have to wait until a certain time to ask questions. So I'll say that right now. Does anybody have any questions? All right. Well, I know that class 1 is a lot of blabbering because what I want you to do is buy into it. So if you didn't come here with a reason to take Tai Chi, I want you to leave here with, oh yeah, I like that reason for taking Tai Chi. And I want that, you can write that reason down, and you can let that be your motivator to come to class and also to practice. So everything that we do in Tai Chi is a program that was written and designed by Dr. Paul Lamb. Dr. Paul Lamb is a medical doctor and also a Tai Chi expert. And he combined those two knowledges to write these programs for us. As a small child, he was severely malnourished. And because he was severely malnourished, his joints didn't form properly. And he had severe arthritis as a child. And in his culture, they did daily Tai Chi, but it hurt him to do a lot of the different ways, specifically a lot of squatting low, as you may have seen of Tai Chi in movies or on television. And so he created this program for people that may have some mobility limitations. This program has a higher stance, so you don't have that really low squat. It has some powerful Qigong in the way we move and the way we breathe. It has depth, it has follow step, it has principles. It is safe, it's modifiable, it's easy to learn because we break it down and we practice. It's balanced because what we do on one side, we do on the other side. It's accessible. I'm bringing it to you right here in your home at no cost. There's no special equipment that you have to have. Now, I do standing Tai Chi. If y'all want me to do or show examples of how to do this seated, I'm happy to do that. But as far as standing Tai Chi goes, or really even seated, you want to have shoes that fit you well, shoes that have a back. I prefer personally very flat shoes. Now the shoes I have on today have a little bit of a sole, but they're flat. I have other shoes that I wear often that, I mean, it's almost like going barefoot. There's such a small sole in the shoes. I had to wear these today because my pants are a little long. But I like to feel grounded on the floor. And if I were to have high heel shoes, then that wouldn't help me feel grounded and balanced and stable. Some people like really cushioned shoes. Every time I wear a very cushioned shoe, I feel like I'm bouncing around. And so, some people will use, those shoes that I think they're like water shoes. You wear them to the beach. They have a rubber bottom sole and hardly any cushion. They just slip on. A lot of people will use those. They're cost efficient, very affordable shoes. Some people will get like those really flat, the brand is called Keds, but you can buy them at Walmart. They just plain white shoes and they have a lace up. Some people like using those. If you're in your own home, as an instructor, we're taught to have a no barefoot rule. However, you're in your own home and you have rules in your house. Some people don't wear shoes in their house. So you may have a designated Tai Chi pair of shoes that you wear at home. The only thing I really ask is that you really look at the floor of where you're doing Tai Chi to make sure that there is nothing in the floor. You don't want to step on a pin, a staple, something sharp and harm yourself because of Tai Chi. Especially if you have neuropathy, you may get something sharp in your foot and not even know it and get an infection that can lead to a whole bunch of problems. So if you can, wear shoes. Don't wear flip-flops. I've done Tai Chi in sandals before that were strapped all the way in. I don't prefer that because my foot slips around in them. So you see what works for you. This program also has a lot of supportive material. I brought some to show you. If you don't have it already and you're interested, let me know. The number one thing that I think is the handiest tool that we have is our handbook. And now our handbook has pictures of all the movements that we will do, along with a little bit of explanation. As well as, so it has our warm-ups, our part 1 movements, our cool downs, and then in the back has information specific to falls prevention. And so this is probably the number one thing that I like and I think is the handiest. It's a great size. But now the pictures that are in this handbook also come on a poster. And so, where are my posters? You know, you come to class months later, I don't know where my posters are. Well, anyway, I'll find those posters sometime today. That's weird. They're usually right there in front of me. And I don't have to pull this out because I usually can show my posters. My posters are in a frame that I bought at Walmart. But this is the pictures of the moves, the same moves that are in that handbook. But this is, a big version so you can put it on the wall or, like I said, have the little poster in front of you. When I first started, I would have this poster in front of me, and that would kind of help be my brain. But it has the warm-up and cool-down, and then we have our basic 6, advanced 6 movements on the other. 2 more things is, one, the music. This is a CD. It's also available online in a digital format. I purchase Spotify each month. That's how I personally listen to music. It's available on Spotify. I think it's also available on Dr. Lamb's website for purchase. But this is a CD. So if you have a CD player and you can use that, I have this. And then I also have the DVD. I have a DVD that's this one right here, Tai Chi for Arthritis. It's also for falls prevention. It just would have cost too much money for him to reprint the whole video just for those words. But I also have a Tai Chi seated edition video. Feedback that I've gotten from the video is they are great especially once you take the class and you learn it. To learn from the video, sometimes people have a hard time because Dr. Lamb has an accent, and sometimes it's hard for people to understand his accent and what he's saying. So this may be good to have later. If you have a DVD player, you got to have a DVD player. Again, I think it's also available on a digital copy. I'm not sure the cost, but if you are interested in any of that, just let me know. The only other thing is, all right, I work for the government, y'all, and when you work for the government, you have to have paperwork. I mean, it's like nothing happens without paperwork. And so y'all already know that there is a registration form and a pre-survey that asks all kinds of questions. Some of y'all have already filled that out, and I appreciate that. That's how we report back to the state that we're doing what we say we're going to do. But if any of those survey questions are questions you don't want to answer, it's written on the top, but I'm telling you again, don't feel like you have to answer them just because I asked you to answer them or Sam asked you to ask them. If it's something you don't feel comfortable answering, just don't answer it. There's a place in our reporting where we can say, did not answer. I don't ever want y'all to be uncomfortable in anything that is asked of you. I would rather you come to class and say, I'm not taking that survey, than taking the survey and being uncomfortable with what you had to answer. It's nothing, anything extreme. I just want to give y'all permission to not do that. But we do have that paperwork. At the very least, I do like to have a registration form. That's how I have your name. That's how I have your address. So if I send you things, then I know where to send them. And what do I want to oh, this was what I was getting to. We are asked to have completers. What's considered a completer is a person who comes to 11 of the 16 classes. This class runs in a 16-week interval. Now, if for some reason I have to cancel, and right now I don't know of a reason, but things come up. I mean, over the years, my dog got in an accident. I think I even taught from home back then. I've been sick. We've had a hurricane. I mean, there's like been reasons why we've had to cancel class. And if we have to cancel class, we just put that all on the end of, where we start. We just add it to the end. So you're always going to get the opportunity to come to 16 classes. If you come to 11 of the 16 classes, then you get to earn a t-shirt. And so the t-shirts look like this. This was the very first t-shirt that we ever got. But this is your shirt. It says Tai Chi for Falls Prevention, Seeking Balance Every Day, and it has the yin yang. And then on the back it says our principles. And this is what we do our class by always. This says upright posture, slow, smooth, continuous, weight transfer, gentle resistance, and no tension. Then it says namaste. So we have this in this teal color. We have the coral color, and some of y'all have all three of these t-shirts. Y'all come to so many classes. Some of y'all have earned sweatshirts. I didn't bring the sweatshirts. Oh gosh, my camera just went out. Are y'all seeing my name but not my picture?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, me too. That's good. They probably don't want me to show a t-shirt. Who knows? I love, the saying goes, I love technology. Y'all, I'm not an expert of technology, yet there I am, I'm back. I'm not an expert in technology, but somehow I am a virtual teacher. So anything I know how to do is just simply by accident. It's not by real knowledge. So if anything ever goes wrong, I have to say, I love technology. The last color is this heather gray. And so anyway, if you come the 11 of the 16 classes, you get the opportunity to earn a t-shirt. And, we'll cover that later. But that maybe will give you some motivation. I thought I saw somebody had theirs on. Miss Iris, you have yours on. Who had on a coral one? Okay, Mr. Ed has his coral one on. So y'all see, if y'all can see the little bitty pictures at the top, everybody who earns their shirt is very proud of their shirt. And I purposely picked good quality t-shirts so that it was a shirt that you liked wearing. Also, it makes you proud to be a part of something. All right, so that's a bunch of information. I'll repeat principle every single class because everything we do is with principle. I didn't start off by introducing myself. I started off with all that information, but my name is Jennifer Crosby, and I am your instructor. Like I said a while ago, I've been teaching Tai Chi consistently since 2012. I started mostly in senior centers, and in 2021, because of COVID, we were asked to start doing virtual classes. And I took over a class in SOWEGA by a lady named Robin. Some of y'all probably remember her. And it just took off from there. I was asked to finish the class for her, and then next thing you know, we were having 2 classes, and now we're up to 3 classes. I have the Tuesday class on Tuesday, 10 to 11, that's this class, and then I have a class from 1:30 to 2:30. Now, you do have my permission to come to either class. If, something comes up, you just have to get the link from me or from Sam on your Claris. If you're coming in class on a Claris, just let us know that you're interested in the option. AM and PM classes are typically very similar, but not exactly. So you may be comfortable coming to either one. But Friday is my advanced class. And that's for the people who are interested in learning part 2. Part 2 is it's a whole nother beast. And so on Fridays from 9 to 10 we do advanced class. But anyway, I am the wellness program coordinator at the Area Agency on Aging in Baxley. Our office is the Heart of Georgia Altamaha Area Agency on Aging. And I will be here 25 years this October. And so that's a really big milestone. And I know what y'all are thinking. I don't look a day over 25, so how could I possibly have worked this job this long? Well, actually, I know that's not true, but I am 48. I have been married 24 years. My husband is named Blake, and we have 2 kids. Patrick, who will be 22, and he goes to college at Middle Georgia State University in Cochran. He is studying health science, kinesiology, but really what he does is he plays baseball. And I'll talk about my husband and kids a lot. And my other child is Olivia, and she is 18, and she has started her senior year at high school. And she will sometime along this year decide where she wants to go to college. Right now she thinks she wants to go to the University of Georgia, and I think that's great. I think that would be a great fit for her. She would enjoy it. So like I said, I've been here 25 years, married 24 years. My kids are 22 and 18. And so we're looking into empty nest in not too much longer. So I want to say this about Olivia. She's a dancer. She dances for Encore. And she's done that since she was a little girl. So that gives you a little bit of introduction to me. We're going to get started with a little bit of movement. I know we don't have a lot of time to finish the hour, but next week I'm going to ask you, what is your goal for taking this class? Because what I want you to get out of this class, what you want out of this class. And so I can design this class any which way I want to. And so think about that this week and decide, why are you here? What do you want to get out of it? And you can be as honest as you want to, and we will make that work. So if it's a place to connect with others, I think that's great, because that's what I want it to be as well. So to start, whether you're seated, whether you're standing, we always walk around, open and closing our hands, bending our elbows, and what we're doing here is just warming up our bodies, because when we exercise, we want to exercise with warm muscles. If we were to exercise with cold muscles, then we increase our chance of injury. And so that's what we're doing, just simply walking. Typically, I don't recommend walking backwards, But because I'm in a camera and I can see myself, I can see what's behind me, it's not so much a problem. But I wouldn't walk backwards without being able to see. Because, this is fall prevention class. We don't want to set ourselves up to fall. We just want to warm up, just moving our bodies. You can, you're in charge of how high you lift your knees. Just simply getting blood flowing before we do out. And I got to find my posters. I just realized how much I rely on just looking over there. Just guides me through step by step all of our major joints. We do warm-up stretches for our neck, for our shoulders, for our spine, for our hips, for our knees, and for our ankles. And we do that every single class. And so we may only get through the top part today, and we'll finish up with the bottom part. I just want to make sure I instruct the pieces and parts of these movements. I'll show you from the front, and then I'll turn around and I'll show you from the back whenever it's appropriate. Because y'all think about this, but I'm the type of student that if you try to face me and teach me mirror image, my little brain is confused. I need my instructor to turn around, and when I say right, I need you moving your right hand so I can follow you easier. I can't follow you if I'm facing you. So y'all let me know if that works for you, if you ever need me to turn around so you can see my hands better. All you got to do is ask. This class is for y'all. All right, so I will say get in our stable stance. And our stable stance is our feet are about hip width or shoulder width apart. So what they're not is really far apart, and what they're not is right beside each other. So our feet are spread just a little bit, and that's what it is, about hip width or shoulder width. Now you're going to find your sweet spot with this. You're going to find your sweet spot. My sweet spot is a little bit wider than hip width. By saying sweet spot, I'm saying where I feel very stable. Widening my legs or my feet is kind of like a table. If the table's legs were all together, that table would fall over very easily. But we widen the table's legs, and that helps it be more stable. And so that's that same premise. About hip width, shoulder width apart. Then I want to think about my posture. So it's kind of like a string that pulls up and down at the same time. So I got really good posture. My shoulders are relaxed. My chin is up. It's like I'm carrying books on my head, right? Also, I want to think about my knees. So my pants are kind of baggy. I tend to wear baggy clothes because they're more comfortable. But my knees have a slight bend to them. So I'm not squatted down, but my knees aren't locked either. There's a softness to those knees. And so that's important because if you get in the habit, and this right here, the stable stance is a habit that you don't just do in Tai Chi class, but you do it all the time. When you're out in the world, when you're standing in line at Walmart, wherever you are, you're at church, you're standing up singing the hymn, you're in this stable stance and you're constantly aware of how you're holding your body. If you have that soft bend in your knee, then you're less likely to be pushed over. If my legs are locked, if my knees are locked and somebody bumps into me, I'm more likely to be knocked over. If my feet are real close together and somebody bumps into me, I'm more likely to be knocked over. So that's why we widen that stance and have that slight bend in our knee. There's just that little bit of give to that movement in the way we're holding our body, and we're standing upright. You may catch yourself leaning over. Well, fix it. Get upright, because if you're leaning over, you're going towards falling. So think about that posture always, anytime you're holding your body anywhere, especially standing up. But even when you're seated, you want to have your feet connected to the floor, still hip width apart, still have that good posture. Less chance of falling out of your chair, but also because you're holding your body in a way that's stable, then you're less likely to have pains. If you're bent over and hunched over, you may start having neck and shoulder pains from the tension. So again, body awareness in how we hold our bodies. So these first moves, they don't have leg movements. It's strictly arm movements. So I'm going to come closer, but you're in that stable stance. Your hands are to your sides. And what you're going to do is bring your hands up, palms down. Okay? And so your hands are palms down, and you stop when you're about shoulder height. So you don't come up, you come up and you stop about shoulder height. When you're shoulder height, you're going to turn your hands and you're going to pull these hands toward your chin and chest. Then you're going to turn and you're going to push those hands away from your body. And then you're going to follow those hands all the way down as your chin goes toward your chest. Now, when your chin went toward your chest, did you feel a little bit of stretch in the back of your neck? That feels really good. That helps with the tension in your neck. This is a warm-up stretch for your neck. So again, we bring our hands up, palms down, turn and pull them towards our chin and chest. Turn and push them away from our body, and then we follow those hands as our chin goes to our chest. Something else I want to bring to your attention is our elbow. Now I want you to notice when I brought my hands up, you see my elbow, how there's that kind of bend to it? What you don't see is this. So just like our knees, we don't lock our elbows either. We keep a soft bend in that elbow. And that allows energy to flow through our body. That's part of our principles is soft or open joints, allowing that good life energy to flow. So we, again, bring those hands up, that slight bend in our elbow, turn and pull them towards our chin and chest. Push away. Notice I don't go all the way and lock my joints. I don't go here. I stop here and then follow those hands all the way down. Hands up, palms down, turn, pull them towards our chin and chest, push away, and then follow those hands all the way down. So notice how slow I did that. Slow, smooth, and continuous. And notice I use words like push and pull because one of our principles is gentle resistance. And so we'll talk more about that. But just to remind you of words that I use help guide you with the principle. So that's our first neck exercise. The other one starts out this same way, pulls towards our chin and chest. Now we're going to drop one hand to our hip. And this hand out front, we're going to follow that hand like it's a mirror. Just our head. So our whole body stays forward. We simply move our head side to side. So without our hand, it looks like this. It looks like we're just looking over that shoulder, coming back to the front, and looking over that shoulder, coming back to front. And that's a great exercise for our neck. But the hands make it Tai Chi. So we're here, in, drop one to our hip, Follow that hand to the side. Come back to the front. Now let's switch our hands. And follow that hand to the side. Now you don't have to go as far as you can go. Just go until you feel a little bit of that tension. And then come back to the front. So when you very first do this, your neck may feel very stiff. Some days you may just be really stiff in your neck, more stiff than others. And it could be because you slept wrong. It could be because you did a lot of driving. Driving causes you to hold your neck and head very tense way because you have to pay such careful attention. And so there may be reasons why some days your neck is more tense than others. As you practice this move, it can help loosen that neck, and you may be able to go just a little bit further than you did the very first time. Just be patient with yourself as you go side to side. Now, I want you to notice this hand right here. Okay, you know I said bring it down to your hip. Notice my armpit is open. What I'm not is here. I'm not closed it off. I've not just completely ignored that this arm exists. It's engaged. Here, it's just taking a rest, taking a break, but it's engaged. So that movement is for our neck. But just to give you a different insight to that look, or to that move, as you follow this hand, this shoulder right here, what happens if you pull that shoulder back? Do you feel stretch across your chest? Maybe a stretch in the back of your, or in the back in your shoulder blades? That's how you can take this one movement for your neck and make it more by pulling those shoulders back. And so you may not be ready for that yet, and that's okay. I'm just giving you an insight on how to make that movement a little bit more. You don't ever have to do it. You can simply focus on that neck tension by following that hand, switching, and following the other hand. So those are moves we'll do every single time. We bring our hands up, towards, push, follow the hands down. And I typically do everything in threes. Now this one right here, I like it so good sometimes I just get lost in it and I forget how many we've done because it just feels so good on my neck. But I try to stick to 3 on each side. Any questions on that? Those 2 are for our necks. Our neck. We only have 1. But collectively we have necks. Alright, next we have for our shoulders. You'll like this one. Our hands stay to our side. You can even, touch your fingers to your legs. And you're going to roll forward. Small circles. Think about the size of a quarter. Like you're drawing a quarter on the sides of your legs. So you roll forward, and then you roll back. So it is a challenge to keep it small. But in Tai Chi, we do everything slow. We do things small. So it's a new type of movement for so many of us because we're used to doing big and fast. And often my quarter is a little bit bigger than a quarter, but I try to keep it really small. So that's the first shoulder warm-up stretch. The other one, I call it a big shoulder circle, but we have our palms to our side and we're going to bring our arms up, palms up. And we stop at shoulder height. Just like on this one we stopped at shoulder height. Here we stop at shoulder height, turn, and we push down. Now, some people have shoulder problems where they can't lift their arms. And what I want you to do is do what you can do and envision that you're doing it just like I'm doing it. Bring them up, turn, and push down. So you hear that word push, and that goes with gentle resistance. You see slow, smooth, and continuous. And next week we're going to talk about breath. And so this is great to inhale and exhale. So Tai Chi sometimes is called meditation and movement. And this is one of those movements that you could meditate with. So I have this poster up here. It says breathe in calm, breathe out stress. And you can use something like that, a self-affirmation word here. Breathe in calm and breathe out stress. You can use this movement to meditate on what you need and what you need to get rid of. Or you can keep it completely positive with gather calm and fill my soul, right? So you can keep it here and not mention what you need to release. It just depends on what your needs are, you know, what you're feeling and what you need to focus on. And that movement is good for that. So those two are for our shoulders, where we roll and where we do the shoulder circle. Next is for our spine, and this will be the last one we talk about today. So with our spine warm-up, we have our ball. That's our little ball of energy. And so when I'm holding my ball, I have room in my armpit here. So I'm holding it kind of away from my body. I'm not collapsed my arms. I'm holding it away from my body. And so first I'm going to stretch my spine. This hand on bottom of the ball is going to come up and push up in the air. The hand that's on top of the ball is going to push down towards the ground. Notice I didn't lock my joints, but I'm pushing up and down at the same time, stretching that spine. Come back down to my ball and switch. So one hand's pushing up and the other hand's pushing down. Stretching that spine. Being very conscious about not locking our joints. Really focusing on that spine. If you want to think about breath again, inhale as you come to the ball and exhale as you separate. So inhale, exhale. To me, that helps get me a better stretch as I exhale when I separate the hands. Inhale as I gather and exhale as I separate. So that stretches our spine vertically. The next way that we stretch our spine horizontally involves the ball. And the hand that's on top tells us the direction that we're going to go. And so I'm going to move just this top part of my body. I'm going to leave my legs still and straight forward. So I'm going to turn my torso and I'm going to stop just above that knee, switch my hands, and then come across. Switch my hands and come across. Now, can I go way over here? Yeah, I physically can. However, we don't want to go so far because we can start twisting our spine and we can hurt ourselves. Also, because our legs are stable, we can start pulling that knee and that can hurt our knee. And so in Tai Chi, everything we do is small. And I think that's hard for people to grasp, is just how small it is, because we're so used to doing everything big. We think bigger is better. And so come to Tai Chi knowing just how small our movements are. So slow, smooth, continuous. So as I'm going side to side, I'm revisiting my posture, making sure I'm not holding any tension in my shoulders, making sure I'm standing upright. I have that soft bend in my knee. And so we'll have more instruction about this movement in terms of engaging our core muscles as we move. You know, we want our core muscles, so it's the muscles that are in the front and muscles that are in the back in this area that help support our spine and help support our bodies to remain upright. When we have weak muscles here, then we are more likely to fall. We need those muscles to be strong to support our spine, to support ourselves being upright, and we help get those strong by not doing 400 push-ups or our sit-ups, but by simply tightening those muscles and pushing ourselves to the side. I like to envision a straw coming out of my belly button and taking that straw and pointing it towards that corner and taking that straw and pushing it towards the other corner. And when I'm envisioning pushing that straw side to side, then I'm engaging my core muscles. So we'll talk again. We got 16 weeks to talk about all kinds of things. But turning side to side, it helps warm up our spine, but it also prepares us for other moves that we'll learn, one particular called waving hands in clouds. So today we talked about our first 3 warm-ups. Next week we'll talk about our next 3, which would be our hips, our knees, and our ankles. These are our weight-bearing joints, so they'll be a little more challenging, and they may ask for you to have a chair or something like this. This is a table that's so heavy it's not going anywhere for me to rely on just in case. The wall, this is a door, but behind the door is a wall. And I can rely on this wall if I need to use it to help keep me stable. So what you don't want to have is a chair that has wheels. You know, this chair right here is on casters. I can't rely on it to help keep me upright. If I rely on it, it's going to push away from me. So identify in your house a chair that can work for you. In my office, I have this chair, and it is not the best example of a chair to use, but sometimes we don't have the best example. Sometimes we have what we have. This is a little short for me, and I'm short. I'm 5'2", but this is what I have. You know, it's better than the one that has on wheels, but it is something that I can rely on. So identify a chair in your house. Sometimes like a chair with arms, that doesn't always work. But see what you have. See what you have to work with. So like I said, we talked about neck, shoulders, and spine. We'll do it again next week as we learn more about our lower body warm-up exercises. To close out class, we always cool down by giving ourselves a nice little fist massage. It's like saying thank you to our leg muscles. They work so hard for us through Tai Chi class, especially when we start doing our weight transfer, but also just throughout the day, carrying us around, and we just give them a little bit of thanks by giving them a little fist massage. What that fist massage does is breaks up lactic acid to help keep us from being sore. Because if you're not used to moving, this class can make you sore, even though you go so slow. It's the weight transfer, it's the intentional use of muscle where you can get sore. Now let's gather tension on purpose and then let it go. And know that we want to live not with tension, but without it. We don't want to set ourselves up for pain. We don't want to hold on to it. We want to let it go. Now let's do our big shoulder circle again. Inhale. Exhale. Now we make a fist with our right hand, a mirror image. And our little fist right here, it is not, we don't clench our fist, it's a loose fist. That represents our strength. Our left hand, our fingers are all together, that represents our friendship. And our thumb end represents our humility. And what I love about humility is that it means that we are open and willing to learn something new. That we don't think we know everything. And I love that because I like learning things that are new. You know, even though I've been teaching this class since 2012, I don't teach it the same because every time I teach it, I learn something different. So I love learning new ways. So let's put those hands together. And in mutual respect, we say namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste is everything in me respects everything in you. And it doesn't matter how different we are, we can still be respectful of each other. And so that's the basis of our Tai Chi, and I love that. So welcome back. Thank y'all for coming. We're going to have a great 16 weeks. I'm really looking forward to it. If y'all need me, you either have my email or my direct line to my office is 912-292-9052. My email is Crosby, Crosby, at HOGARC.org. That stands for Heart of Georgia Altamaha Regional Commission. So, but if y'all have questions for me you don't want to ask in class, maybe you want to give me a call. However you've contacted me before, the lines are open. Y'all know, if y'all need me, I'm here. You don't have to let me know if you're going to miss class. I just like to know because I worry. But anyway you can let me know, I'm grateful. There's all these different ways for us to communicate. So anybody have any questions before we close out?
Glad to be back.
Me too. I have been thinking about this in the middle of the night. Like, I get to do this again. I'm so excited. I miss it. All right. Well, y'all have a great week. I'm going to upload this to my YouTube page, and next week or the next, probably week 3, we'll talk about the YouTube page. All right. Well, I love y'all.
Love you too.
All right. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye.